Did you see any of these joints?
I mean, I walk by the Throwback every day.
That's,
Okay, I saw,
that was my,
nobody told me. So
No, it's not even on here.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
off.
nobody told me as a
Yeah,
renewal that they've been there for
I've been
years.
there, but no, they're not on here now.
Oh, they
They had
withdrew?
customers there.
No, I mean, they're just not on
Yeah.
the agenda for whatever reason.
Okay, and the dispensary got
Nope,
That was withdrawn.
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 Big meeting. Are we ready?
Yeah, I see two people. I'm not sure why they're here, but they're on my Zoom screen. Anyone that's here for either application, can you hear us? Raise your hand or unmute and speak.
Hello, nice to see everybody. My name is Mitchell Siegel. I'm here for 710 Amsterdam Avenue.
Okay, we'll be with you in 1 second, Mitchell.
Okay, take your time.
Yep, thank you. But just before we do that, this is the May 14th, 2025 Business and Consumer Issues Committee. My name is Joshua Cohen. I'm co-chair with Michele Parker. Doug Kleiman also in attendance. And this is our committee this evening. We do have a quorum as we only have 5 members currently.
Right.
We just want to adopt, take a vote to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
So moved.
All in favor? Yeah.
Yes, 3-0-0-0. Is there any non-committee members on?
No, I just see Mitchell and someone named Aristoteles, who I think is an applicant.
Okay.
Okay,
We will go in order of the listed agenda. And the first one is 2418 Broadway. Do we have someone here for that?
is that a
Looks like-
yes?
So is that Bell, someone signing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like the new Zoom update. It looks like
You can turn that off.
this person, I don't know. Oh, you.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I don't love it. Whoever this person Aristoteles is, looks like that they're here for this one.
24th.
Aristoteles, can you speak up? They may just not be ready yet. They have their camera off. Maybe they're there for a different one.
Do you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Hello.
Hello. I can't see him. Where is he?
Can you turn your camera on? We'll be able to see you. You don't have to, but if you're able to, it'd help.
Confirm that Mr. Aristoteles is for this agenda item? Or
Aristoteles, which agenda item are you here for?
2418 Water and Wheat LLC.
Great.
Great.
Someone else just came on. Is Frank Palillo your representative?
he's an attorney.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
Awesome, okay. Frank, you're up if you can hear us.
1 second, guys.
Technology at its finest.
Mhm.
There we go.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey there.
How are you? I'm sorry. I had to get away from some grandkids that were loud,
No problem.
No problem.
but fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Water, did you call the case already? I'm sorry, guys.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
you're up
You're
first,
up.
yep.
Being the first case, that's great. You have the application in front of you. This is Water and Wheat. This is Aristotle. He had Aristoteles, sorry. He has another location on 2nd Avenue. And we're opening a restaurant. I'm just looking for my notes. Give me 2 seconds. Here we go.
Oh, sorry, I should have gotten that. The location on the east side is also Water and Wheat?
Yes,
Okay.
and we are planning a restaurant with hours from Sunday to Wednesday. No, I'm sorry, Monday to Wednesday, 11:30 to 9:30 p.m. Thursday and Friday, 11:30 to midnight. Saturday, 10:30 to midnight, and Sunday, 10:30 to 9:30 p.m. We have recorded
Modest.
music. We have recorded music. And I think that's it. This, Ari, what was this place before?
This was,
What was the name of the restaurant?
What's the cross street?
okay. Hi.
Come
Ari,
on.
can you hear me?
89th and Broadway.
Yeah, it's the
89.
southeast corner. Hi.
Ari, can you hear me? Okay, Ari can't hear me, I think. To further illuminate, we have recorded music and DJs, no dancing. Employing 28 to 30 employees with no security. We'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. Ari, can you hear me? He's in
I can hear
Greece.
you.
You can, what was this restaurant before? What was the name of it?
We're doing 2418 Broadway.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just trying to open it.
Ari's in Greece and the internet may be a little compromised, so.
What's it called? Something in Vino.
Chibo y Vino.
Cibo y Vino.
Oh,
Yeah, we know Chibo y Vino.
Okay. And we'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
I mean, it sounds like your hours are modest and
Yeah.
I don't, operationally, I'm just curious as a neighbor of what kind of food is it? Is it Italian? Is it Greek? What are you gonna be serving?
Ari?
Not that it's relevant to the application, but
Right,
just like
Oh,
to
but as a
know.
neighbor, you might like a place to go.
Absolutely.
true.
Ari, do you have the answer to that?
Hello?
It's Mediterranean cuisine, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Close enough. That could
Did he
be
say he
Italian,
doesn't
could
have
be
the answer to
Greek,
it?
it could be-
No, he said it's Mediterranean cuisine.
Mediterranean.
Italian, Italian.
Italian.
Oh, okay.
Italian.
Okay, we like that part of the Mediterranean.
That's
It's working
right.
over to my side.
And before it was Cibo and Vino, the restaurant before.
right,
Yes,
right.
yes.
See,
When do you anticipate opening?
We are planning to open at the end of this summer.
Great.
Terrific. Do you have any questions for us?
Nope,
No, sir.
he's an experienced
I get-
entrepreneur.
This
Straight
is
up
not-
restaurant with very respectful hours.
Great,
One
this is
floor.
not part of your application tonight, but out of curiosity and only curiosity, do you plan to apply for a sidewalk cafe? Do you
Yes.
plan to,
It's in the application.
it is?
Yeah.
So what, are we hearing?
No,
This-
that's the liquor license. That's it.
No, but it says sidewalk and it asks that question on the application.
Oh, I
It
see,
says
right.
yes, yeah.
All right, so you will be serving, you eventually will come and get you'll apply for your sidewalk cafe. And are you also gonna apply for roadway? And again, it says both?
Mhm.
Okay, great.
Yes.
There's no second floor on this,
No.
is there?
No,
Okay, maybe that was just a decor
Yeah,
at Chibo y Vino,
yeah.
With
So they
a
have
ceiling.
there's a sidewalk shed.
yeah,
but they had the sidewalk
Yeah.
shut.
it all sounds very good to me.
Call the question?
All right. In
All in
favor? 4,
4-0.
0, 0, 0.
Non-committee, no.
I don't know
no.
what do we have on the
You have a
committee.
hand?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
we just-
How you doing?
Like he's, maybe he's, no.
Are you a new board member? Okay, we have 5 people.
We
now.
have 5 on the committee now?
Yeah.
That's it? Oh, okay.
Andrew couldn't make it and Ben and Linda are no longer on the board.
On the board.
Who?
Ben and Linda.
Not on the.
Oh, I knew
Yeah.
Ben was, I know Linda.
Yeah, your
Yep.
She turned
application
it
was
down?
not
Nope.
renewed.
No, just didn't get renewed.
I know.
All right, we'll talk offline.
Yeah, we're on.
Whoa.
Okay, thank you.
sir.
Good luck.
And we'll have. this'll
Thank you,
be-
guys. Thank you.
Thank you
full
for your
board meeting
patience.
in
Have a good month.
June. Frank, we have a full board meeting in June where this becomes officially adopted, we
Or
presume.
not.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Back
Thank
to the
you.
grandchildren.
Have a good night.
Thanks, you too. Okay, Mitchell, you're up.
Okay, thank you so much. For some reason, my client is having difficulty. He's here. Do you guys see him?
Is his name, I see it James, that might be it?
Yes, yes, that's him. Yes.
He's just gotta click the
Different,
comments
same,
that we
same,
sent him.
different.
Mine is from this year.
Okay, mine's vintage.
Okay,
it's
I'm a
19.
little jealous of that.
And when I found it in my parents' house, I was like, in 10 years, this will be like actually finished.
Yeah.
Right? Like now it's a
15.
little old.
Okay,
Okay, great. James, you there? Yes, you are.
I'm
here.
Dressed very nicely, I might add.
Thank you.
So, good evening, Community Board. Thank you for listening to us. I think this is a great application and an upgrade to what was in the existing location. I represent Three Finger Paw LLC, which is 710 Amsterdam Avenue. James Alexander is the primary principal. His mother is the secondary principal, and we could get into that. They replace a seafood club restaurant, which was really a bottle club, which was open up to 4 a.m. From what I hear, a little problematic. James wants to turn it into a high-class restaurant bar. We sent you a deck. That deck's a little premature. It's going to get upgraded a little bit, but it's really a restaurant, and we have a full kitchen, and we want to lower the hours from 4 a.m. to 2 a.m. There's
Yeah.
no outdoor space. There are French doors. We will abide by whatever you desire there. We're not looking to keep those open past 11 at the most. If you want it shorter on some days, that's fine. I believe, and I'll let James have the floor, so to speak, as far as his background, et cetera. If you look at the deck, you can see it's a high-end place. Although it's labeled a sports bar, it's really not. They're looking for more of a middle-income, older crowd, not kids, not a hangout, i.e. that's why the 2 a.m. is all we really care about, not 4 a.m. What else can I add? Other than that, good backgrounds and self-financed. And James, why don't you add a little bit? Oh, and I'm sorry. And the times are from really the similar 11 to 2, Monday through Sunday. We'll listen if you have any comments on that, obviously. Only background music. The menu is going to be a lot more extensive that's in the deck. And James, why don't you give them a little, not them, the community board, I apologize. A little bit of your, sorry about that. Sorry about
That's
that.
all right.
It's been a long day. But a little bit of your background and your experience and your ideas as to this premise.
Yeah, thanks, Mitch. So I worked the bar restaurant industry for 8 years in New York City, and then I worked pretty much every other job you can possibly think of before that. As far as like I was assistant manager at Quiznos. I mean, I've worked literally, I worked warehouse at Circuit City. I've worked overnight stock at Target. I've worked at a rug store. I've been a kayak instructor. So I'm kind of well rounded with as far as like blue collar work. But my recent background is with a hedge fund called Brevin Howard, where I worked in their onboarding market analytics area. And then before that, I worked on the new products division over at Amazon. So I'm bringing over kind of like the more white collar back office understanding of running a business, and then also the blue collar. Like I'm literally on my hands and knees every day scrubbing grease off the floor from the previous Asian cuisine that was there. Mr. Siegel is also correct. The food menu is more extensive. This is all sort of an ode to my grandfather and kind of the nostalgia of going to baseball games. We used to go to Norfolk Tides together. And I don't know if you ever ate like the nachos, like the yellow cheese and like the runny beef. And we're just gonna try to make that like elevated, where it still feels like you're at a game atmosphere, but you're getting a higher quality product. So it'll be more
I'm sorry to interject, James, but if I can characterize a little bit, it's not a sports bar. It's more like an upscale restaurant with the sports motif, so to speak.
Yeah, we call it your grandfather's basement. That is because it reminds me of my grandfather's basement. And we're catering to families and children, and like we have a kid that's interested in having bar mitzvah. He was interested, and we came in. I got to give him a baseball signed by Reggie Jackson. Trying to make it more of appeal towards families rather than the bro. Sorry if I say this in a negative way, but a broy like yelling at the bartender. Crowded space. We're gonna have a wine program. We have a cocktail program that is more geared to all versus geared to we're trying to get pitchers of beer and trying to get wings and people and volume. We want to make it an atmosphere that's more of like an extension of your living room, which is a lot of the decor is we have couches and bucket chairs and our bar stools are padded and very comfortable and overall it's more of a family and if not family, a 35 to 70-year-old crowd versus the Columbia crowd that is 10 blocks up from there.
That's what you're gonna get.
See, and when do you think you're going to open?
It's all gonna be.
I see people
Go ahead.
working. I work by early. I see people working in there all the time. So
Yeah, we're trying to save money where we can. So usually I take care of my child from 7 to 4, and then I tag out my wife who comes home from work, and I'm at the bar the bar restaurant until.
I don't know. He
12.
he sent me a toolbox today. I didn't get it, but
it is also really hard because I start that work at 4, so all the vendors kind of are off duty at like 5:36. So it's a process, but right now we're dealing with the equipment that was there before is a walk. So there's big gas lines. So we have an engineer coming in and we're running new gas lines. So then that needs to be approved by the FDNY before we can install those gas lines. So we're kind of beholden to them as far as that goes. But all of that, like we have an asbestos guy coming in on Friday. The electricians already had all the electrician stuff going on. The light installs are going to come this week, and then TVs will go in the following week. And we've already been speaking with a wine vendor and a rail liquor vendor that are ready to give us our product as soon as possible. And then yesterday we solidified our menu with US Foods and their executive chef. So the menu will be available as soon as possible. And so we're just beholden to the FDNY right now to approve.
Okay.
Any guesstimate as to when that will be?
Yeah, so it's expedited. So hopefully it gets approved any day now with the asbestos guy coming in on Friday. So once that happens, then our plumber will come in and install the new lines. That should take 2 to 3 days. And then we have to have that be approved as well. And that'll also be expedited. So it could be as early as May 27th, 28th. It could be as late as middle of June.
To open.
So we'll say one more time.
To open for business.
Yeah, to open. Yeah, we will be ready to open.
That's what they're shooting for.
Okay.
Yeah, that's early to mid June is what we hope for.
And your application notes that your workers' comp and disability stuff is still pending. Will that be sorted by the time you open?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's coming up soon, so just wanted
Yeah,
to
I believe. So my mom is watching from another. She takes care of all the back office stuff. I believe that it's already. That should be good by now. I can double check on it, but it'll come very, very soon.
Great.
Yes, so full disclosure, I represent the landlord here and I can't vote on this, but I do want to say that it was a long time coming to find the right tenant for this space. And a minor correction to your attorney, the bottle service occupant was not the tenant and they were promptly evicted. The previous tenant was the Boilery and then it became the Chelsea, but they ended up having like a subtenant that was not actually a tenant. Anyway, that was addressed. But when we had multiple prospects for this property, the landlord's a great person. I've been representing him for years. And when we met Alex, I'm calling him Alex, I don't know, James Alex, but
Alex.
Alex.
My dad's name's James, so I go by Alex, but my first name's James.
met Alex and Alex's mom and baby and wife, and you brought some of the memorabilia, the sports memorabilia, which I thought was a really nice touch to, and you really expressed a vision and you shared some of the deck. And I think we realized that we were lucky to have a really great tenant, and I'm excited about going there. So obviously I can't vote, but I told you I won't, the name will it'll be nameless, but you remind me of a couple of young entrepreneurs in this neighborhood that have gone to do great things. We had an interview with the landlord and you were so much attention to detail. So anyway, really excited. And of course, I urge that we vote yes, but I can't vote.
Thank you,
Thanks,
thank you.
Doug.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Very nice.
Sure.
So we'll vote on this.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
All right.
Any
we'll
other
vo-
questions?
Yeah,
Great.
okay, I'm in favor.
Call a question, yeah,
3
3,
to 0 to 1 to 0.
correct. No, 3
No,
to
no,
0.
3-0-0-0-1.
Oh, 3?
And those will vote for
Oh, because it's
cause.
cause.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great, good luck.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so much.
much.
Hopefully the FDNY gets you ASAP.
Go Yankees
will
and go,
fingers
and go, and go
Go
Knicks.
Knicks. Yeah, go Knicks.
And you'll be in front of the full board in June. You don't need to attend, but if you'd like to, we'd love to have you.
I'll be
It'll
there.
put in front of the full board, but we will be supporting it and urging the rest of the board to vote in favor of this.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Thank you,
guys.
thank you very much,
Good
board,
luck.
committee. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I appreciated learning all that detail.
Yeah.
I know it's an arduous process, but it's broken up into many
Oh
sections.
my gosh.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Do we have any other agenda
Any new
items?
business?
No, I mean, I think last meeting we had talked about like if there's anything we can do as a board for outdoor dining, because I don't know about you guys, but I feel like even since then, like whenever I go somewhere that I used to sit outside, now I can't.
Yeah.
I will say that people I've spoken to multiple about it is that it's just so costly.
Mhm.
And the cost is because not of having it, it's buying the stuff to set it up
Mhm.
and then take it down
Take it
and then
down.
storing it.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Like-
that's not even, I guess it's more just like, if we are in this like vague position of quasi, I don't even know power, but like advocacy, right? Like, can we use our position to do anything to like make this better? And whether that's even like holding a mini town hall in our June meeting for restaurants, like, or just like something to really kind of get the ball rolling. And I wish maybe Andrew can give us more insight, even just over email, just about like something that we could use, because I think June will be our last meeting before the summer.
Probably, yeah.
Well,
So if we could use that time constructively somehow, I think that would be really cool, just so that like, especially when the fall starts, like there's still 3 more months in the fall for outdoor dining to be enjoyable. So even if it's not something that we change over the summer, if we can kind of like get things in writing, or maybe just put out a call for businesses to come, that we want stuff on record, like, I don't know. I don't
actually
wanna
thought-
reinvent stuff that's been done.
so I actually thought that when we brought this up at new business, you brought this up at new business,
Yeah.
that we were actually gonna have it on the agenda because there was a massive hearing at city council
Yeah, I
about all
thought so
this.
too, yeah.
And there are proposed changes to the outdoor dining program, many different changes. And the Alliance has, I think, 8 or 10 different suggestions and recommendations. So I thought we were gonna kind of opine on that and maybe support or, get specific about what we want, what we don't want, or what we might get behind. But since we don't, I mean, I guess,
Well, I'll ask the question I always ask, to what end?
Right. And like, maybe it's something as simple and toothless as like us writing a resolution, but it's still like, I don't know, I guess that's a question of like, maybe Andrew can answer this better, is sort of like, what can we do for any restaurants right now? I mean, I'm really open to any
well,
ideas or
well,
suggestions. I just like, think that I think we're all on the same side, that like, currently this process is not helping restaurants and
It's
it's not
not.
helping customers, like, the thing that the city council and the mayor's administration built is terrible. And sorry, guys, but it's
Don't be
really,
sorry.
it's like, to anyone listening who was involved, it's awful. And like, I just think that, especially that our district is a district with used to have a lot of outdoor dining, and a lot of people who would happily spend money on outdoor dining, like, if we can do anything to be a megaphone for other voices,
It's just,
or.
a place that doesn't matter who it is, but a person I'm friendly with in their place, and they have a substantial footprint. He told me it was gonna cost him like 30 grand.
Mhm.
And he said, it's not that I won't make 30 grand in sales over the course of the time. He said, but I just don't know that I want to lay out 30 grand to have to take it down. That's the thing, is where am I, he's like, I don't have a basement, so where am I putting this stuff?
So,
And so it's kind of like you build it, you buy it, you build it,
And that's for roadway,
yeah, for roadway.
right?
And then you have to do what with it? If you're gonna store it, does it cost you more?
But what if we tried to tackle like making just sidewalk stuff easier, right? Because the roadway is where my understanding, a lot of the costs do come from of storing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But sidewalk shouldn't be that difficult if you don't need
You
a
would think
structure.
not, yeah.
well, I think, first of all, there are very specific suggestions that are being proposed at city council, and you can look at the hearing. In fact, I believe Andrew testified,
Right.
and there's at least 8 or 10 specific things, whether we want to back any of them or all of them or some of them. One of them is making roadway dining year round so that the storage and the construction, deconstruction is not a factor anymore.
Right.
We had some changes that the city made, which I personally find ridiculous, which was that they changed the clearance requirement on Amsterdam Avenue, shrunk it. So all of the restaurants now on Amsterdam, on cafes, require a 10-foot clearance.
Instead of 8.
Instead of 8. But Columbus remains the same. So we never understood why there were great actors, restaurants that lost many seats all along the
But
avenue
I've
for no
noticed
good reason.
I've noticed on Amsterdam, there are some restaurants that are complying and some are not complying.
Yeah, well,
So like some restaurants that are right next to each other. I've noticed that there are some restaurants that will have like one side of their cafe a little farther from the building and they're the short, so they have like an
Mhm.
L shape. And then a restaurant right next to them, they say, F it, we don't care, and they're right up against a tree pit, you have like 2 feet of space, and
Yeah.
they just don't care.
They'll probably get a summons for it.
So, but I think that they're saying, I'll get a summons, but it'll outweigh,
Might be
it's
worth,
worth it
Right,
to
all
me
the
to
amount.
have the summons.
right,
So
cost
this-
of doing
so the
business.
reality is, the way that I see it is that this whole thing is toothless. Because the city can fine you all they want, but there's no, aside from the monetary fine, if you're covering that, you're considering the cost of doing business. Like you would your rent or your cost of goods sold or your utilities or whatever it might be,
Mhm.
there's nothing can be done. It's like,
But look
it's
what they
kind of
did-
still
Look
haphazard.
what they did to downtown, that restaurant, La Dive, when they just said like, F it, we're gonna put tables up, and then I think that like now they're never able to sit outside, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want restaurants to have to be in that position. I don't know, I guess I'm just spitballing.
No,
but-
listen, there's.
Everyone's, I think we're all on the same side. and
Well,
so-
there's, I mean, when you say, oh, look, there is, some of this stuff is polarizing because, obviously some people think about parking spaces, they think about access, they think about noise, whatever. I'm just saying it's in the ether. There are many people.
Well,
that
as for the
testified in
5
City
members
Hall.
on this committee though, like, is anyone concerned about parking?
On this committee?
Yeah,
Well, remember, we represent, it's a full board because obviously if we
Well,
pass a
we-
resolution, we have to get past.
totally, but we
all
represent a
50.
committee that they've entrusted us to make the proposals for this committee, and then they
Yeah.
can vote on them yes or
Sure.
no, so.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was hoping we were actually gonna do new business and we're actually gonna, not new business, we're actually gonna have this on the agenda, so we actually could vote on it today. I
What
thought
would
we
we be
were.
voting?
Whether we want to adopt any of the proposed changes that are
The
being,
city council made?
well, not at city council, it was being made by the Hospitality Alliance and restaurants that testified to say, we're having a hard time. These are the changes we would like
Oh,
to
okay.
to the Dining NYC program.
So
this is a
first we
brand new
should,
program.
we should read that or see
Yes,
it.
so again, one of them was 365 days. Another one was redoing some of those delineations on.
Well,
various-
sidewalk is 365 days,
Right, I'm talking about roadway 365.
but I think that you're talking
Loosening
about.
some of the
Well, I'm
other
talking about both,
specifics.
right? Like, I'm talking about both roadway and
Yeah.
sidewalk that I know that I went to last summer that I walked past last week that aren't open for outside.
Well, sidewalk, yeah, I think the roadway is, what I've heard,
Mhm.
is the most expensive issue has been roadway because of the deconstruction and the storage and all that.
Totally.
Sidewalk is sidewalk. The only difference is that some people's footprint has shrunk because it's no longer, has to be to the store frontage. The other proposals that I heard, and I could
always
pull it up,
was, right?
was allowing temporary enclosures on the sidewalk cafe during cold weather to allow them to have,
People are doing that anyway.
Yeah.
There's no,
Right.
and no one's stopping them.
well,
Those ones people are getting away with, because the
French
rules aren't really
roasters.
written
They were,
around them.
right, they've essentially made enclosed cafes.
Right,
Yeah.
in which they didn't really think about in this master plan that the council did, and so those ones are getting away with whatever they
I
want.
That's
wouldn't-
no, they're
I
gonna, I
wouldn't-
think they're, the DOT, my understanding is that they've been issuing fines. They can deconstruct something if they really want to. I hope they're gonna.
But I also
be
don't
friendly
want,
about it.
I'm not saying more fines, more regulation. I'm just saying like,
No.
let's make it more feasible for businesses to do things that they
Yeah.
were doing
Yeah.
pretty
So-
easily 2 years ago, right?
So we should hear what the proposals are, and then we can write a resolution from there.
I can actually.
Who's
probably-
gonna start with, talk to Andrew? You wanna start?
Well,
Miranda?
we can definitely talk to Andrew,
Yeah,
but you can Google it and see exactly what is
okay.
proposed.
Okay,
Let me see.
In
if I
terms of, is it you two who put it on the agenda? Is that?
Yeah, we can, yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys want to do something like that?
Sure.
then, the
Sure.
agenda? Only if you guys cool with that?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
of course.
So I also just think maybe we'll get more people from the public, once it's on the agenda, who want to talk about it, you
and-
know?
and also
more
there-
committee members.
There have
Yeah.
been times in the past that this committee has met in July and August.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I just meant, I know
Right,
it's not
because
the standard, right?
No, we did
We-
because there
Oh,
are
'cause the liquor
applications, yeah.
applications,
I was
yeah,
gonna say, we
okay.
have it listed on it. I saw it Jessie the other day. She had the really good idea of just listing it for July and August as meetings on the calendar with like a little like a as needed
Yeah,
or what.
We have that for this committee and
Yeah,
preservation.
yeah.
I'm actually seeing if I can pull up some of the very specific bullet points. Okay, here are the 7 suggestions from the Alliance. Year-round roadway dining, we already covered that. Reducing fees. I mean, there's a whole bunch through this, but I'm not gonna read it all. Third is sidewalk cafe enclosures, as I mentioned, clearances, requirements, going back to changing clearances, application process, scaffolding, and processing time. Those are 7 points that were being discussed and proposed by the Alliance at City Council. And there are 7 of them, and they're all.
I mean, scaffolding, there's nothing that can be done about that. Scaffolding is scaffolding. And if there's local law 11, that's just the way it goes.
So this, what they say about scaffolding by definition is temporary, therefore scaffolding put up above a sidewalk cafe must ensure its pedestrian clearance requirements and not prevent or limit a sidewalk cafe's footprint. Right, so, right, there
Oh,
are,
I see what you're saying.
yeah, so they have to pull in their cafe, right, so that's something specific about scaffolding. I mean, listen, you know what? I'll just read it quickly. Year-round roadway dining, one of the key challenges faced by small restaurants across the 5 boroughs is the seasonal only roadway dining option. The construction and storage costs associated makes it too expensive and cumbersome for many restaurants. To address this issue, the city should allow roadway cafes to meet specific standards to remain open year-round. For others, city should provide winter storage for streeteries, since these restaurants are paying the city fees for
That's-
participating in the
that's-
outdoor program.
That's so ridiculous to even suggest.
All right, well, that's,
I mean, where are they gonna-
don't shoot the messenger.
No, I'm just saying that the fact that they would even say that the city should store these things, that's not, the city's gonna pay for the stuff, then they're gonna, it's not
Right,
happening.
also you don't want, I mean, I don't trust the
Yeah,
city.
come on, that's
They're gonna,
crazy.
you're gonna get someone
Reducing
else's
fees.
shed back.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So reducing fees while lower than other, I mean, look, we had an interesting issue with our district, right? There are north of, I think it's 96th Street is somewhat cheaper. We are in a more expensive district. And it's a weird paradox because, and I remember even Gail Brewer was opposed to this because you're saying because restaurants are paying more, they
should
have to pay
more.
even more? It's sort of a weird
Right.
paradox. And
That we
so,
could address.
well, yeah, and that was being discussed too, right? Well, that's, so it says here, reducing fees, while lower than under the old sidewalk cafe law, fees remain too high for many restaurants and should be reduced. The jobs created and tax revenue gained from lower fees exceeds the limited government revenue that's collected from far fewer applicants deterred by high cost. Additionally, annual fees should be payable in installments as they were for decades, rather than requiring full upfront payment, which is too burdensome for many businesses. So that was their piece on fees.
But we should then.
I mean, I don't know if you want me to continue reading or.
Just forward the link.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, we'll do that.
so we could put it on our agenda for next month.
And again, these are specific to the Alliance. I'm sure there's other restaurants and individuals that have different thoughts,
Sure,
suggestions.
with
Maybe there's.
less power than the Alliance.
Well, yeah. And I don't know, it was a very long hearing, I understand, and it's all recorded, so if you want to watch what people said, it's.
Yeah, or even just read some articles about
Yeah.
outcomes. I just think that like if we have any sort of voice,
We do.
anything, and like we can put something that's not super controversial that the rest of the board will agree with, if we can just kind of raise noise and, I don't know.
There's a lot of
I'm okay
specific-
with less parking, that's why I asked, because I'm saying,
Okay.
if the 5 of us wanted to say like, we were okay with less, something to that tune of like, we're okay with less parking if it means restaurants, get to have more outside, and then someone on full board wants to fight me on that, like, I'm happy to have that
Yeah,
conversation.
look, I
Right,
totally
and I think
agree
we
with
all,
that.
that's why I'm asking, like, if everyone else has the stomach for that, like I do, so.
I totally agree. There definitely are people on this
Yeah.
board who are,
Right,
they don't want any kind of cafe. They don't,
but they should have to say that
There are also people in the neighborhood, I mean,
publicly.
obviously.
Yeah,
My point is, if they
I
think that
agree.
parking is more important on the Upper West Side than businesses doing well and us having nice places to eat, then like, they should say that publicly
agreed.
with their face and their name.
Listen, the DOT obviously administers this entire program now, which is kind of a strange thing anyway. A lot of people were very critical of DOT running this program, thinking they had absolutely no sort of place doing it. Obviously, during the
The
pandemic.
DOT is
everything
not the
was-
one who wrote themselves into the law, so.
That's right.
Yes, right, so,
DOT didn't ask for this either.
They didn't?
No.
right,
So
but,
who came up with this brilliant idea?
well, it happened during the pandemic
council-
because this
no, it
was in the
council-
street.
It was the council and the Adams administration, and it happened last year. I mean, for 3 years, things were working out okay. The problem was people living in the sheds. Other than that, things were working out okay.
I mean, look, in all fairness, other neighborhoods that are much more densely packed had different issues than we do on the Upper West Side. There are buildings that are very, very close to each other and blocks that are very narrow. They have issues with fire trucks going through. They have to get a waiver. I've listened to some of those hearings. I'm not saying one side or the other, but there are real issues.
Yeah,
And,
sure,
but that's not, but here we're CD7, that we should be speaking for our
Correct.
neighborhood.
correct.
So I'm disappointed that we didn't actually have this as an agenda item, so we could actually take a vote to then get it into June full board. But now that we're talking about it, I guess it's new business now for the June meeting,
Correct.
right?
Oh, but then it won't be a June full board.
Actually, no, not to just
No,
jump
yeah,
right
no,
in,
please.
but
Please do.
Two full board
We
meetings.
are,
in June.
yeah, I'm just.
Oh,
in the
that's right, we're
process of
doing it.
getting for it, and it'll definitely be after your June meeting.
All right, so great.
Perfect.
Right, so, all right, so we can have right, so this is new business for June, and then we can actually.
When is the second full board meeting?
Working on it still, but like deep into June,
Probably not election day, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah, the primary.
So, It might not be on a Tuesday then.
Well, I mean,
No,
Looks-
no,
election
no.
day is right.
That's okay, election day is a Tuesday.
23rd.
Well,
So you
but the
have-
That's a-
Tuesday is the primary election day, and I know.
Oh, I'm
people-
thinking
Oh,
of
yeah,
June.
no, definitely can.
Wait, which day is the 24th?
Yeah, and I know people
Oh,
on this
that
board are
makes
gonna say
sense.
you can't have a meeting on election day,
They are
which
gonna
doesn't
say
really
that.
make sense because you can vote for
Can
10
vote,
days
right.
before that, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
so.
probably.
I was
It's also my
looking-
birthday, so I won't
So
be
your
there.
second
okay.
primary
I
is
was-
June 24.
What's
Correct.
that?
Primary is June 24.
Yeah, well then, so it won't be
And
that
Miranda's
day.
birthday is June 20th.
Looks
Yeah,
like
maybe the next-
25th or 6th.
Or the
and
next Tuesday, I guess.
That's really why
Next
you don't.
Tuesday is July 1st.
Well, I
and
won't be
we'll
there.
out
I'm
of
just letting
town.
you know.
July 1st. no
I won't be able
Yeah,
to
no
argue with
worries.
people
We
about
also,
why.
we also all can't be there because we're invited to your birthday party, right? Aren't we? Of
It's
course.
election night, I don't think I'm gonna birthday party, but no, I just won't be there to argue for about parking spots, so,
Right, right.
but anyway.
So, well,
So
what
our-
do we want to discuss under new business for next June? I mean, June PCR.
This June,
No, we don't. We want to put this on the agenda as
Right.
an item.
right.
Okay.
It's not new business.
Yeah,
Agenda.
No, what I mean is,
In
what,
terms of on the agenda.
yeah, what
item.
is the agenda? What are
And
the-
maybe it can just be that like how CB7 can support more outdoor dining. Something, I don't know, is that crazy?
Or
This is a-
modifications or
CB7
improvements to the outdoor dining NYC program?
Response to the blah, 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 blah meeting.
Yeah. This is a brand new program, right? So there is supposed to be a sort of check on, hey, how is it going? And so far, not so well.
Right, but
from some people's point
the
of-
counter to that's gonna be is we haven't had enough time to really see how it's going.
I think we have though.
No,
right?
I think we have
Right.
too.
But I also think that we're allowed to say it, like,
We
look,
can
it's
say
3
whatever we
months,
want.
doesn't it, like, I understand what you're saying, but my point is like, 3 months is a long time in the restaurant
Yeah,
world,
it is.
right?
Correct.
That's a quarter of their revenue for the
Yeah.
year, especially
Correct.
these outdoor months where
Yeah.
they might be making up for winter months, so
Right.
like, I think on behalf of all the businesses in this district, that like 3 months is plenty of time to be like, or 6 months really, this isn't working.
Yeah, if
You know.
you, and I don't have the statistics, but I'm sure Andrew can find them, and I saw Donis Rodriguez speaking, the amount of applicants that we have for roadway and sidewalk is so tiny compared to what was under the pandemic and even
Yeah. Oh, it's
It
like a
is
tenth. It's crazy.
unbelievable.
Really?
And it's really, it is I mean, it's not even subtle. It is a massive
Well, I think it's
loss.
because a lot of people, they spent all this money on these shed, on whatever setup, then they had to take it down, and then they're like, you want me to
It
reapply
wasn't just a
again?
shed, it was the electricity.
Right, the whole
Heat.
infrastructure, they had to take it down, and then they said, you want me to apply again? Like, are you
I'll tell you
serious?
something else that I think that I don't like, and when this was brought up last time, we were fought back. You know that the applicants have to place an ad in publications, right? And they have to spend quite a bit of money. It's part of, when they go to the public hearing at DOT, I believe they have to put at least 2 ads in it. It's hundreds of dollars. It may be even 600, 800. I don't know what it is. They must put, these are the business notices, right?
Right,
Isn't there a
And-
penny saver still?
It's one of those, it's like, I don't know if it's Cranes, but there's a few publications that are the acceptable notification.
Is this in lieu of posting?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, or in addition to. And so the last time, which is many, many years ago, that this was brought up, said this is a ridiculous thing. The public notice is the community board or is the DOT meeting or notices, but no, so everyone has to do this. The last time we fought this is a long time ago. And our former board member, Linda Alexander, was aware of it. You know who fought back on this? The publishers, because they lose a lot of money by accepting all the ads. But it's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and every applicant has to do it, and it is ridiculous, because who reads them?
It makes
Nobody.
less sense now with all the other
does.
ways. to
I think that would be
notice it.
something that
like
should
an
be
Instagram
reversed.
post.
Yeah, exactly.
Twitter.
Okay, anything else?
Uh,
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Sure.
Seconded.
Cool.